Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
Life is short, sister. Life is short, life is short, life is short. We've all heard this before, you know. I found out this morning that a friend of mine, Jonathan, from chiropractic college, we weren't like the tightest of friends. We definitely had some experiences together in school, and he was really good friends with my good friend Craig. And they were in practice together for the first 5 years after chiropractic college. And I knew that John had cancer. And, God, what a positive light and soul. But he just passed away on Monday, 3 days ago. I went to get checked by Craig, who's also now my chiropractor. We live in the same city now. And he's like, sad week. And I'm like, what do you mean? And I knew exactly I knew when he said it, And it's interesting. I texted my husband to let him know. I'm like, hey, Jonathan passed away. Like, fuck. And, he's married, 15-year-old, 13-year-old, and a son and a daughter. There's pieces of me that kind of goes like, I remember so many, like, I love the way that Jonathan had such an enthusiasm for life, and how he had these, like, big eyes. And so when he was, like, really, like, excited about something or something was funny, it's like his eyes would almost like bug out. I remember that about him the most. I remember us doing this thing in chiropractic college, which we called the On Purpose Club, which was basically, it's crazy when I think back to it now. My training in the days that I didn't really see was training for what I do now, and even when I was in practice as a chiropractor. But we spoke to the students. We had it once a week. Everybody thought we were fucking crazy, and we talked about things like goals and creating a vision for yourself, and I want to say motivation, but maybe that's kind of the closest example, motivation. We would meet, it's funny, I remember all the details now. We would meet on a Thursday morning once a week, like to kind of prepare and stuff, right? We'd figure out who's speaking for the next week. We would meet at 5 a.m. or 4 a.m.? I think we went from 4 to 6. We met for 2 hours. You want to talk dedication, right? And none of us had wives and children. I don't think any of us had kids back then, but, and the way people kind of come and grow in the group. But I still remember, and we would play music, and so it would be kind of, I don't know, I guess we had some kind of a break in the morning. I don't remember what chiropractic called. Maybe it was over the lunch break. Maybe it was over lunchtime. And so we'd play music outside to kind of entice people to come in, and we'd hand out flyers leading up to, hey, the On Purpose Club, here's who's speaking this week, and here's what we're speaking on. And, we were so inspired by some of the personal development stuff that we were beginning to go through at that point in our lives, in our 20s, that we were kind of, and me in my 30s, I was one of the older ones there, and that we were, kind of starting to do that for our fellow students. And it was amazing. And I remember, John, we would play, so music would be like, Dave Matthews Band was so big back then, and so it would be a lot of Dave Matthews Band. But I remember John loves heavy metal, and so he'd want to play, what song was it? Alice Cooper song? If I actually tried to, like, sing it or do, like, the guitar part, I'm not going to do that. It'll come to me later. But I remember that with him and just going, oh, it wouldn't be awesome if we did that. And then we actually did that one time. We thought it was the funniest thing ever to play this, like, such heavy metal song that everybody knew. And he was just an amazing human being. And up until a couple weeks ago, I was still seeing his posts on Facebook. Hey, we're trying this new treatment. Hey, I'm still staying positive. And, there's something that Craig said to me. And I was like, Craig, like, I saw him just post a couple weeks ago. Did it happen fast? And this is what I really felt in my gut. I'm like, or has he just been really covering this a lot of the time? Not hiding, but just like saying, I'm just going to choose to stay positive. He goes, it was the second one. It's been bad for a long time for him. But he was positive, Karen, for us. for us. And I thought about that. It wasn't for his family, because I'm sure his family had a little bit more as to what's going on. But even though I know that Craig spoke to his wife this week, and they're so in shock, you know. Even though this has been going on for a couple of years now with John. I think a couple of years, maybe 2 years. And pancreatic cancer. The prognosis of that horrible disease when it involves the pancreas is really, really poor. People don't survive. And when he said that, he's like, no, Karen, he stayed positive for us. Like his family and friends that were watching. And I was like, man, what a emotional to think about this now, because he was such it's crazy, right? And I don't have any regrets, because again, John and I weren't like tight. It was more kind of friends by association, but still considered him to be a friend. And I still think of him and I go, man, he was such, you know, he would only been around the same age as Craig. Craig's a little bit younger than me. I want to say about 44, 45, somewhere in that range. And I don't know, what am I trying to say right now? It's kind of hard talking about this because I just got the news this morning. But I think, if anything, the message that I feel in all this is this right now. And what I said at the top of this podcast, life is short. Life is short. And we've all heard it, and it all makes sense. And I could let this kind of pass a day or two. And because John wasn't someone that was like a constant thought in my mind, it was just like, oh yeah, how's Jonathan doing? Like, you know, how is he, like, how's he healing? Is he doing better? It would be like that. He'd pop in every once in a while, or I'd see his post on Facebook or something. But this feels different. This feels, it was the words that my friend Craig said, which is like, he did this for us. He stayed positive for us. And I think of the two sets of eyes that watch me every single day. My two sons. And, you know, you can have, again, these experiences, just go, what the fuck am I worrying about? My youngest is hitting kids at school, and his teacher doesn't want to be there, and challenges my oldest son in school. I'm like, they still have their dad. Like, who am I to complain or worry and all that kind of stuff? But at the same standpoint, I kind of go like, man, he did that for us. He used the end of his life to still be an example of how to live life. Like, we have no fucking excuses, sister, to not do the things that light us up. To not jump when we don't know the plan, because it doesn't fucking matter. Because you don't know when that's it. You don't know. And it could be something like with John, who, you know, he'd been dying for a while, and it was somewhat inevitable, but still a shock for his family. Or it could be you walk out today and you get hit by a bus, and that's it. And I don't think we can hear this message too much, which is, not only is it important for us to get clear and remember who we are, but to live our life in accordance with that. You know, it's like, as soon as Craig told me, and, you know, he's adjusting me, and I'm like crying, and I left the office and I went to train, because this probably would have been even more of a blubbering mess here, trying to get the words out and to share with you this experience, because I know there's something in this for you to hear. Just so that I know that there was something for me to, like, really hear in Craig's words. And it's so interesting too, because my friend Craig went through a health scare. When was it? Late last year? No, maybe it was earlier this year. And something that could have been really serious and devastating, and it ended up not being. But he was just like, Karen, like, I'm just gonna, like, and this is a guy, by the way, my dear friend, another amazing human, Craig, who really does live life. It really is about experiences and adventure and being who he is and honoring who he is. And, I saw that in Craig back when we were in school, like 20 years ago. And, but after this happened with him, he's like, you know what? I keep talking to this like close friend of mine, a buddy, who this surf trip that we talked about taking, and we'll do it one day. And he's like, he's in the hospital and he calls up his friend and he's just like, we're doing this trip. We're doing it this year. And he just came back from it, this kind of like dream trip. And it's like, what makes us think that we have to wait on our dreams? Maybe that's what I'm going to call this. Don't wait on your dreams. What makes us think that we have to wait on our dreams? Who are we to say that we're not ready yet? That we don't have the money, that we don't have the time, that we don't know how to make this all happen? Who are we to wait on our dreams? Because we might wait so long that they never fucking happen. And to me, a dream is simply something beyond like, well, one day I'm gonna, or maybe I'll win the lottery. Oh, that's bullshit. I mean, like, what is your heart pulling you and calling you to do? What are you feeling inside? What is the rumbling inside of you that says, I need to do this? And then ego steps in and goes, wait a second. Whoa. Yeah, I don't think so. That shit's not gonna happen. You can't do this. You don't have the money. You're not ready. You don't have the talent. You must be talking to the wrong person. Because this bitch, no. Go take your little, airy-fairy dreams and go sprinkle them somewhere else. Because it's just not going to happen here. And we stop and we never take that step. Or we start to take the steps and then we get knocked down. And we get knocked down and we go, see, I wasn't supposed to have done it. Bullshit. That is the universe testing the waters. That is the universe strengthening you for the next step. That is God allowing you to see that you are strong enough to move through this. To move through this right now. To get to what you want. To see your dream fulfilled. And I believe that dreams aren't just for celebrities and athletes and people that we know and people that have done these amazing feats or, survived these like incredible health situations or experiences in life. They're for all of us. And our life is such a gift. Such a gift. And I don't know the situation with John's family. I know his wife when we were in school. She's lovely. Like, I'm sure they were such an amazing family. I know they were an amazing family together. My heart just goes out to his wife. And it makes me wonder, is there anything that she said, hey, John and I said we were always going to do this trip and we never did it. Hey, we wanted to create this thing together and we never actually did that. I don't know. And this is not, it's not my place to even, I'm not even saying anything. It makes me go down that path and go, wow, what are things that my husband and I want to do together? What are things that are still stirring in my soul to do that I too have done and are doing it's just not right time right now. What is that? And what is that for you? So here's your more tip for today, sister. What is a dream that is in your heart? And by the way, the biggest piece of the dream for you to understand is it's not the end product. It's not the succeeding or the failing, as you all often might tend to categorize things. It's about the trying. It is, as cheesy as it sounds, it's about the journey. It's about the steps to get there. It's about the process of you seeing that you can do this, you can do hard things, and if you fall down, so what? You figured out what shit doesn't work. But would you not rather, we're going to say quote unquote, fail, try and fail, versus never doing it all and live your life in the what if. In the what if. So your more tip today is open up your journal and to write down my dream is and to start writing. And the second piece is I want you to do, sister, not for me, for you, is that I want you to take one step towards that dream in the next 24 hours. One. Big or small. One step, one step, one step. And although things like death become this reminder of the fragility of our life, I don't believe that we have to wait until it happens to somebody really close to us to decide that we're going to finally start really living and not just existing. Your life is not meant to be lived for the weekend and for vacations. With love, sister, that is a bullshit fucking life. And if that is where you are, I do not judge you, but I'm going to encourage you to start to move out of that. Whatever it takes, however long it takes, begin the process, because that is not life. That is fucking death on earth. And quite honestly, and this might be a slap in the face, but I'm going to fucking say it. That is such disrespect and dishonor to those like John, who lived their life much differently and didn't get to live it out fully like you and I are probably going to have the chance to do. And what are we teaching your children? What are you teaching your children? To live your life like it's just existing, when your life is meant to be lived with full expression. And by doing so, allows others to see that. It is a domino effect that happens when you live your life this way. And you stop playing it so fucking small. So there you go, sister. And finishing up, I want you to do one thing for me, for you. You got to get on the newsletter. There are 4,000 plus 4,300, I think, are the average listens to this podcast every single day. There's a fraction of you that are on the newsletter. That's some fucking bullshit. You need to stay in the loop with this, with the book that's coming out, with all sorts of new opportunities. As this message of Women Wanting More is shifting and becoming more of me, so you can become more of you, sister. So right now, you've heard me say this a million times, but today, fucking do it. I want you to head over to drkarenosborn.com, drkarenosborn.com/action guide. Enter in your email, and you will get hooked up with the Women Wanting More tribe today. So I will talk the next episode, sister. A life of more is just one step away from you realizing, yes, life is short. And you can either choose to live out your dreams when you're here on this earth, or let your dreams die with you. And which one is it going to be for you? I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborn.com/newsletter.